The D-Day for the Super Eagles were the square off against the Lone Stars of Sierra Leone in the 2021 AFCON qualifier. To this end, Nigeria Super Eagles on Thursday had their final training session preparatory to the Africa Cup of Nations qualifying match against the Lone Stars. The team trained behind closed doors at about 6 p.m. before receiving the Minister of Sports, Sunday Dare, who visited the players at the San Luis Stadium. Striker Victor Osimhen has assured Nigerians of victory. Midfielder Joseph Aribo is confident about making an impact in the game. Captain Ahmed Musa added that the players are committed to beat Sierra Leone and qualify Nigeria for the tournament.
For me, I think my goals will come, obviously, but the team victory comes first and before my personal ambition. So I just want to help the team if I'm featured in this game, and I'm looking forward to the game.
Just my normal game. I bring energy. I want to play fast and just make it hard for my opponent and win the game, of course. I want to score goals every single game I play, but I mean, I just want to do all I can for the team to get the result that we can get.
So I'm just here with the boys. Everything is going good, and in the next couple of hours the game is tomorrow, so we are just ready to focus on that.
But while former Super Eagles winger Babangida is unhappy with the exclusion of locally based players in the senior national team setup, Halfland goalkeeper Ikechukwu Ezewa is the only player from the Nigeria Professional Football League that was invited for the double-header against Sierra Leone. Babangida says at least 4 home-based players should have been considered in a squad of 24 players to help the confidence of those who play in the domestic league in Nigeria. And let's take a look at the Technical Committee of the Nigerian Football Federation, where the NFF will unveil its new technical director, Austin Iguavoin, shortly before the Super Eagles Nations Cup qualifier against the Lone Stars today. The former Eagles captain and coach would assume duties after his official presentation to the players in Benin City. The Edo-born tactician has called for support in improving the structure of football across the federation with input from positive-minded stakeholders. Iguavoin will work with coaches of all national teams as part of his duties as technical director while creating a room for the discovery of young talent from the grassroots and development of players in the local league towards earning a place in the various national teams. Now, joining me in the studio to take a look at the big game tonight between the Super Eagles and the Lone Stars of Sierra Leone is sports journalist Shunning. It's nice to have you. Let's take a look at the big task ahead of Rohr and indeed the players. The Lone Stars are already in Benin City, and it's a huge one. The green and white color of Nigeria must be hoisted at the next AFCON tournament.
Well, for me, it's a day, for majority of the players who are just coming to Nigeria for the very first time. I'm talking about most of our Super Eagles players, and also a big one for Nigeria because we need to win and win very, very well. But looking at it, it's going to be a very tough game for Nigeria. It's going to be a tough game in the sense that majority of the players on our side will just be here for the very first time, and they will be out there trying to get their synergy together. It's not going to be easy. Just playing together, the individual, talent here and there, bringing them together in one fold. And the Sierra Leoneans also. They've been boasting the one victory, and from antecedents, we've always found it very difficult against Sierra Leone. Though we always win, I want the Super Eagles players to remain focused. They've been saying a lot of things. Aribo, he just told us that he wants to score in every Super Eagles game. While wanting to do that, and to turn to individualistic game, and that may not actually help us. Some few days ago, I saw Paul Onuachu, and I wondered, from his height, he's close to almost 7 feet.
He doesn't do very well for the Super Eagles,
exactly.
But he's arguably the best Nigerian player in Europe as a striker today.
Exactly, but if you look at it closely, Rohr is going to run into one or two troubles in terms of selection, in terms of playing style and playing pattern. We must be definite about what we want to do, and when you're bringing a team, that's just a composition of fresh players doing very well in Europe, and you want to bring them together in a national team game. And this is the first time some of them will be coming together. It's going to be, the game may not be so organized as we thought, but at the same time, victory is very, very uppermost. All right.
Babangida is one person who has senator as a national team footballist and also played in Europe. But he says he's concerned with the fact that local league players are not always a part of the national team. And he felt to a large extent 4 players, should at least have made, you know, the Super Eagles squad. If you also take a look at it, in most cases, now we have Nigerians who are born outside the shores of the country, you know, dominating the Super Eagles. In the past, in the 90s, the likes of John Fashanun found it difficult to break into the Super Eagles team. And we had the players, you know, from the local league. According to Rohr, the players aren't good enough. Do you agree with this assumption from a coach?
Well, whatever you do as a foreign, you know, based coach, you must into cognizance the fact that, you know, one of your mandates is to develop, you know, that country's football, not to bring in players from the diaspora, putting them together and forming them. What we have now is diaspora Eagles. Diaspora Eagles. But it's not. That means he's not doing. He's not
diaspora Super Eagles.
Yes, he's not doing his job per se. His job is not just, you know, taking the Super Eagles on the field of play, let them play, win and stuff like that. You must also, you know, develop the home-based players. But I don't blame him right now because the league is not on. The players we may be thinking of are not in their best character at the moment. They've not played for months, you know, owing to the lockdown and one or two things about the league. The league, as it were, has not resumed, and it will be suicidal for you to go and bring, you know, players who are just sitting at home, eating their menu without, you know, any form of supervision, not training. So I don't want to blame him from that angle. Right now, the players he has actually brought in are players who are playing regularly in the various clubs. We're also seeing them on television. Together, put in all, not a bad decision at it. Looking at what Babangida said, putting 4 players. In the past 5-6 years, we've not had 4 players, homegrown players in our national team. And it is not surprising. But the players, the home-based players must take the ball by the horn. They must as well try their best to, you know, get to this level. And if you see some of them, instead of concentrating to play their fantastic football here, their target is, you know, moving to Europe. So the concentration is not there, and that's the thing is actually affecting them.
That's a huge challenge for the home base. But we hope they will indeed get it right. Finally, your prediction, scoreline, before I let you go?
3-0.
3-0. That's according to Dabo Shoots. Also, a very big thank you, Dabo Shoots, for indeed joining us to take a look at the big game, the Super Eagles against the Lone Stars of Sierra Leone at the Samuel Ogbeboda Stadium in Benin City.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, let them indeed take a look at what is happening in the